I will mention but a few of the special and distinguished guests joining us today. I apologize for any oversight on my part. Please hold your applause until the end of the introductions. Thank you. Joining us for today's ceremony is our incoming commander, Brigadier General Zachary L. Miller. He is accompanied by his wife, Beth. Please give a warm South Atlantic Division welcome to Brigadier General Miller and Mrs. Miller. Also joining us for today's ceremony is the Director of Programs, South Atlantic Division, Dr. Larry D. McAllister. We are also honored to have with us today the Cyber Center of Excellence Command Sgt. Major, Command Sgt. Major Timothy D. McGuire. Welcome also to current and former military members, friends, co-workers, and all current and former employees of the South Atlantic Division who may be joining virtually. Please join me in a round of applause for all of our guests. And now, most importantly, I would like to recognize the family members of Command Sgt. Major Derrick A. Braud. First, Mrs. Kimberly Braud, spouse of Command Sgt. Major Braud, and their son Xavier and daughter Arel. Let's give them a round of applause. From time immemorial, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victory over the enemy, to honor their heroes, to celebrate special occasions, or to pay homage to their fallen comrades. These ceremonies add color and pageantry to military life. In the United States, the foundation of our present ceremony was laid by the Continental Army. Today's ceremony is a reflection of the procedures practiced since the dawn of our nation. This ceremony is derived from our Army's first manual of ceremonies, the Blue Book, written by General von Steuben. The ceremony that you're about to see includes arrival of the official party, invocation, the national anthem, change of responsibility, remarks, award ceremony, and departure of the official party. We hope you enjoy this historic event. The host for today's ceremony is Colonel Matthew Y. McCulley, Acting Commander, South Atlantic Division, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. The other members of the official party include Command Sgt. Major Rodney C. Russell, Command Sgt. Major, South Atlantic Division, and Command Sgt. Major Derrick A. Braud, incoming Command Sgt. Major, South Atlantic Division. Please rise for the entrance of the official party and remain standing for the invocation given by Mr. Wilbert Paynes, former Chief Planning and Policy Division, South Atlantic Division, and for the playing of the honors to the nation.
Good morning to all. I ask that you share with me as I give thanks for this service in accordance with my belief and you in in the manner of your choosing, belief, and faith. May we bow our heads and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather today for this transition of responsibility from one Command Sergeant Major to another. As we gather, we're thankful for life, family, friends, co-workers, and the nation in which we live. Today we bid farewell to a soldier, a leader who has served with honor and distinction. We thank you for Command Sergeant Major Russell. Dedication, sacrifice, and commitment to this organization, the Army, and this nation. May his future endeavors be fulfilling in every possible way. Dear Lord, shower him and his family with your blessings. Abide with them in the next chapter of their life. As the mantle of responsibilities transitions to Command Sergeant Major Derrick Braud, grant him, O Lord, his strength and wisdom to apply his skills and talent to uplift the civilian and military members of the South Atlantic Division, and give him the strength to shoulder the responsibilities that he will soon receive. May his leadership be marked by compassion, courage, and commitment of duty. In times of change and transition, may this organization continue to fulfill its civil works mission and its support of the military. May the leadership under our new Command Sergeant Major further enhance execution of our mission. In closing, dear Lord, we ask for the safety of all our brave men and women of the military in service to our nation. Be with them and keep your arms of protection around them, safely returning those who are in harm's way to their family. These and all things I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Wilbert. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, it is customary to present red roses to the spouse of the outgoing Command Sergeant Major and yellow roses to the spouse of the incoming Command Sergeant Major. However, Command Sergeant Major Braud has elected to make a donation to a charity, a lifelong animal project, in lieu of the flowers. The change of responsibility is a traditional event rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the unit's colors. These colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of the soldiers and civilians. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his or her responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. The custodian of the colors is the Command Sergeant Major, the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of responsibility from the current Command Sergeant Major to the incoming Command Sergeant Major. Because of the reverence the Sergeants Major feel toward the colors, it is kept over their left breast during the transfer. The passing of the colors demonstrates to the soldiers and civilians of the organization that the Command Sergeant Major has passed the mantle of responsibility to the new Command Sergeant Major. With this passes the loyalty of the workforce. Today, Command Sergeant Major Russell will extend the unbroken chain of non-commissioned officer leadership to the South Atlantic Division to Command Sergeant Major Derrick A. Braud by transferring his authority to Colonel McCulley, who will in turn entrust it to Command Sergeant Major Braud. This transfer of authority is done by the passing of the organizational colors. It symbolizes the passing of responsibility from one Command Sergeant Major to another. And now the members of the official party will take their positions. Command Sergeant Major Russell is a Division Command Sergeant Major. He represents all the soldiers and civilian members of the division and symbolizes the important military-civilian partnership that exists in the command. Master Sergeant Roberson presents the South Atlantic Division colors to Command Sergeant Major Russell. As Command Sergeant Major Russell passes the colors to Colonel McCulley, this symbolizes the relinquishment of responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, the Order of Relief for Command Sergeant Major Russell. Having served faithfully and with distinction, you are hereby relieved of responsibility as Command Sergeant Major, South Atlantic Division, United States Army Corps of Engineers. You have executed the duties of your office with dignity, dedication, and devotion to the command. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel McCulley, entrusting of the responsibility, now transfers the authority to Command Sergeant Major Braud. As Colonel McCulley passes the colors to Command Sergeant Major Braud, he demonstrates his confidence in his ability to handle the responsibility of Command Sergeant Major. Ladies and gentlemen, the charge of orders for Command Sergeant Major Braud. Let it be known from this day forward that as Command Sergeant Major, South Atlantic Division, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the United States Army has placed special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. You are hereby appointed to the office of Command Sergeant Major. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce the Acting Commander, South Atlantic Division, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Colonel Matthew Y. McCulley.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, leaders, distinguished guests, and friends of the South Atlantic Division. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today to recognize two amazing leaders within our organization, Command Sgt. Major Rodney Russell and Command Sgt. Major Derrick A. It's a great day to be here in Atlanta. Obviously another hot day. It was a great May of cool and rainy and back to the heat of Georgia. But appreciate y'all being here, and it's definitely an honor for me to preside over this change of responsibility ceremony. First, I want to take a moment to acknowledge, obviously, those who put this event together. Obviously, ceremonies like this don't just happen. They take a lot of work in setting this up. So thanks to everyone who worked tirelessly to put this great event together. Your efforts don't go unnoticed. We just give them all a round of applause. And one of those being Mr. Bob Prince, the voice of the South Atlantic Division, for I think many changes of responsibility as well. To those of you in the audience, whether you're here in person, I know we have several joining us virtually. I appreciate you taking the time to attend this event as well. Time is a precious resource, and obviously your presence is a testament to the strong and meaningful relationships that Sergeant Major Russell has developed and cultivated over his time here in the South Atlantic Division, and obviously during his engagements with each of our districts, as well as all of our stakeholders throughout the region. To be successful, great leaders also need great support. So I also want to recognize, obviously, those individuals that support and enable the leaders that we're honored today. For Sergeant Major Russell, your wife Sonia, sons Keelan and Damien, I know they couldn't be here in person, but watching, hopefully they're on Facebook Live and watching it virtually. And for Sergeant Major Braud, obviously your wife Kim and son Xavier and daughter Errol, thank you for coming as well. I know for us, especially in the green suit and obviously the GS civilians as well, we couldn't do it without the countless sacrifices that our families make for each of us to do our jobs. As the Division Command Sergeant Major, you're not just a trusted advisor to the Division Commander, but you're also responsible for the morale, discipline, welfare of the soldiers and civilians within the Division. As the Division Deputy over the last 2.5 years, I've had the privilege of working alongside Sergeant Major Russell and see him in action over those 2.5 years, and I'll tell you, he has excelled in this role and in these responsibilities, and his undying commitment to the workforce within the South Atlantic Division. For those that don't know, the South Atlantic Division covers the entire southeastern portion of the United States, Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, as well as Central South America. Pretty large footprint that Sergeant Major Russell got to crisscross over the last 2.5 years as he met and talked with employees, as well as checked on projects and met with stakeholders at a lot of our garrisons. Many of these locations, though, were not close to anything. As you look at several of our locks and dams that are often in remote locations, he would travel to those and represent the command. That continual focus on understanding the employee's perspective, their issues and concerns, and confirming that they have what they needed to accomplish the mission was his goal. And obviously along the way, he got to collect quite a few hotel points and frequent flyer miles traveling throughout the region, which is always a good bonus. Another big missionary for the South Atlantic Division, especially this time of year as we look at the late summer and into fall, hurricane season, is emergency management and contingency ops. Over the last 2.5 years, the division has provided emergency support to the DoD, FEMA, states, tribes, and local governments in the Southeast and the Caribbean. In 2023, the division executed multiple deployments in response to Hurricane Idalia, which made landfall as a Cat 3 in the Big Bend area of Florida. And then during hurricane season 2024, the division responded to 9 named storms, including major hurricanes Beryl, Debbie, Ernesto, and then obviously the back-to-back storms of Helene and Milton. Hurricane Helene made landfall in Florida as a Cat 4 and obviously transitioned through pretty much the whole region, causing significant damages in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and then catastrophic flooding in western North Carolina. It was during each of these events where Sergeant Major Russell quickly deployed, most sometimes rolling out with the commander and the aide, jumping in the vehicle and heading down to those impacted areas, either before the storm or soon thereafter, to assess damages, meet with those key stakeholders, to describe some of the USACE mission capabilities, work tirelessly to provide solutions to those affected communities, and then most importantly, check on those deployed government civilians that are out there and still deployed out in western North Carolina to make sure that they were getting taken care of and had what they needed to be successful. Sergeant Major Russell, through all your missions, trips, and key engagements, you never lost sight of taking care of our people and fostering a world-class workplace. I thank you for your friendship, your service to the South Atlantic Division, and most importantly, your engaged leadership. We're going to miss you here, and we wish you and Sonia all the best as you move back to Missouri and start that next phase of your career. As we farewell the Russells, we're extremely fortunate to be bringing in another amazing Command Sgt. Major team. Command Sgt. Major Derrick Braud and his wife Kim, coming from Fort Bliss, Texas, to another kind of heat. Not the dry heat, but the humid heat here of Georgia. You're the right leader in the right place at the right time. Serving as the Command Sgt. Major is a critical job, and being selected to serve doesn't happen by accident. It requires a highly motivated, strategic leader who can understand our civil works and military construction businesses, and then be able to effectively communicate it, whether it's to a lock operator on the Tennessee-Tom Bigby Waterway, a park ranger at Lake Hartwell, or to the Command Sgt. Major of Southcom. As you take the baton from Command Sgt. Major Russell, I look forward to working with you as we implement the Commander's initiatives and priorities, build and maintain stakeholder relationships, and most importantly, take care of the almost 3,700 employees within the South Atlantic Division. Thanks again to everyone for celebrating with us today and working alongside us as we safely finish quality projects on time and within budget. Essions, building strong, Army strong.
Thank you, Colonel McCauley. Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Russell.
Bear with me a second. It's one thing that's really gotten bad over the years is my eyesight. So I gotta wear these now when I read. Good morning, distinguished guests, families, and friends of USACE and the South Atlantic Division. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to take part in today's ceremony. That really means a lot for you being here and online. Let's take a moment to thank those responsible for setting all this up. Our headquarters team, you set the stages for this and making this possible. Thank you for ensuring everything was coordinated and synced for the arrival of CSM Bro and his family, Team Bro. So thank you for everything you've done to set this up. It's kind of an emotional day, but it's bittersweet. It's a joyous day. I set my emotions aside because I want to consider this a joyous day for Team Bro. They get to experience the things as I did in the South Atlantic Division. The team pride, the division pride, the continuous efforts and commitment for our USACE employees that provide us in taking care of our mission for USACE. I would like to foremost start out by thanking God and blessing me with such an amazing opportunity to serve as this division CSM. It's the best division. Of course, I might be biased, but in my opinion, the best division in USACE, the South Atlantic Division, or as some would call it, the super awesome division. There you are. Now for the mushy part. These speeches right here, this is the part where leaders have developed some sort of paper dust allergies when mentioning anything with family. So I'll nug my way through this. First of all, I would like to thank my wife Sonia for her support, who's unable to attend, but I'm sure she's watching on Facebook Live. Hey, Sonia. So your support for 30 plus years, missed that part, has allowed me to serve freely and to be able to enjoy doing what I love, and that's being a soldier, being a leader. Thank you for your countless hours of support, PCSs, deployments, TDYs, and all those other fun mandatory events that we went through. And most of all, for making every house that we had along the way a home. To my sons, Keelan and Damien, you are awesome, and I am truly thankful for you. And you have made me and your mother so proud for everything that you've done. I want to thank you for being there in the times that I couldn't be and the things I missed out on. Sorry for missing the graduations, the licensings, the dates. I missed out on a lot of key events, but thank you for standing and supporting me through everything that I've done. Now I've made it through that part. It was a little rough. But now I'll move on to what us leaders, senior leaders, and officers are this part of the speech, and that's the pride and the thanks, and that's the proudest part of this, is to our team of dedicated professionals. Although I will not be able to mention anything beyond 3,700 plus employees, and I'm sorry if I don't mention your name. It's not that I forgot you or don't love you or you're not important to me, but I'm limited on time because I know Team Braud is ready to hit the streets running. So I'll go ahead and start by saying I want to send a special thanks to my former battle buddy, Brigadier General Hittner, who unfortunately could not be here. I want to thank you for selecting me to serve as your Command Sergeant Major. It's truly an honor, and I'm so humbled to have been selected as the Command Sergeant Major for the South Atlantic Division. You have maintained such an amazing momentum at this division, and at times where it's almost impossible to keep up and step up with you. But I know on your next position, you'll keep that same momentum. I wish you and your family the best on your new assignment. This is a spectacular team of teams with such an amazing talents, and you just can't stress that enough. Everything in the South Atlantic Division. Colonel McCoy, thank you for pulling me under your wing when I got here, keeping me on azimuth on where I needed to be or not to be. You're an amazing leader with a plethora of knowledge, and they pulled you right in that position to serve that intercommand. I think you're going to do well until you hand the reins back over to General Miller. So you're a cornerstone of the South Atlantic Division, and you've got some time here, and you will truly be missed when you come up to your date here next year. So I wanted to thank you for everything that you've done. Dr. McAllister, you're a true asset to USACE. I'm amazed at your experience with the Corps and, of course, your military service to our regiment. You always have the right answer for whatever question at hand. You're a confident and amazing mentor. I have learned so much from our conversations, not only about hunting, although there's some great conversations, but your leadership and USACE experience. Although I've always been amazed with your hunting stories and the outdoorsmen, I wish you and your family the best in your future endeavors. Ms. Hall, I know you're not here, but you are an amazing, determined, and strong person. You are the walking, talking textbook version of USACE. I mean, there's nothing you don't know about USACE. You're a passionate, caring leader whom I've always enjoyed our conversations and hearing your stories of coming through the Corps while raising an amazing family. Your energy, your passion, and tenacity are amazing, and you keep the team rolling. Thank you for everything that you've done. To the voice of the division, our own headquarters, Mr. Bob Prince, I want to thank you for your support and advice and the knowledge that you bring to our team every day. I don't know how you've done it for so long. You have raised so many division command teams and leaders. You have a long history here in USACE and military career as well. Your experience and leadership are instrumental to this division's accomplishments of its missions. Your leadership, drive, and super early emails ensure we're all completing our task at hand and staying on azimuth. I'm talking some 0304 emails, just to ensure that you're going to be at your place of duties. To the executive office team, Ms. Duncan and Ms. Christopoulos, Ms. Verna, Ms. Skinner, and Master Robeson, you've all been awesome and done an amazing job. Herding the cats is myself and Brigadier General, of course, mainly myself. We were all trying to keep up with General Hittner. If there was any question, you always sought out and take time to answer his questions for the team. Your coordination, guidance, and attention to detail is keeping us engaged with our usage traditions. They have been instrumental. We have such an amazing team here, and you can't mention them all. But I wanted to take time to thank each and every one of you. You have all been phenomenal, and the experience here is simply amazing. You're all the foundation of making every command team here successful, and it would not be possible without you here on the team. Your daily commitment, continuity to the people, the Army, and of course, the organization. To the district commanders, deputy commanders, DPMs, thank you for your countless hours and hard work in supporting USACE's missions. Your dynamic experience, passion for taking care of your district workloads have paved ways for our higher headquarters, and this does not go unnoticed. You're all confident and competent leaders who are not thanked enough for your tireless efforts. Thank you for supporting our commander and keeping him abreast of all pertinent things so that he have eyes on for our public and our customers. I know there are many more I'm forgetting, but I wanted to thank every one of you for all such amazing professional work that you do here in USACE. When I hear the name South Atlantic Division or USACE, I am instantly filled with ease and pride as I know I have an expert team of committed professionals at the helm. Command teams come and go at those hands of the time, but our USACE teams stand on the forefront and keep the division running flawlessly. I want to thank you all for such an amazing assignment. I could not have asked for a better assignment to close out. Team Braud, welcome to the South Atlantic Division and USACE in good old hot Atlanta. You have an amazing time here as a team, Russell did. I know it may seem foreign at first, but the team will take care of you. I'll let you know the set of acronyms they will use at every function, program department, or office. As you can see from the two 5,000-page binders on your desk. By the way, Mr. Prince will expect you to have read by this weekend. No, seriously though, they had the right person for the job, and I know you will do an amazing job as a Division CSM. You bring an amazing set of skills and knowledge to the team, and they will truly benefit from. And on the flip side, you will learn a lot, and you will have fun. You and General Miller will have an amazing time here. It's going to be a great and fun experience. Thank you for all in attendance today. You will all be missed. Essayance, this will end.
Thank you, Command Sergeant Major. A little word on your peepers that you've got now. You know, computers have got an amazing feature. It's called font size. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present the Command Sergeant Major of the South Atlantic Division, Command Sergeant Major Derrick A. Braud.
Good morning, everybody. Brigadier General Miller, Colonel McCulley, distinguished visitors, friends and family, both here and virtually, and the South Atlantic Division team, thanks for attending today's ceremony. Let's give another round of applause to the team that put this together. It's a thankless job to work behind the scenes and get all the little I's dotted and T's crossed to have a good ceremony. So let's thank the backside team again. Joe, thanks so much. First, I'd like to thank my family. I would not be successful without your support. Kim, Xavier, and Arel, thank you for tolerating another military move. Brigadier General Hibner and Brigadier General Miller, thanks for the opportunity to be a part of the amazing South Atlantic Division team. Sergeant Major Russell, I appreciate the efficient transition. Thanks for your friendship and advice. Sergeant is derived from the Latin to serve. When you include Command Sergeant Major, you get great servant of the command. With that in mind, I look forward to working for the professionals across the South Atlantic Division and seeing what the team will accomplish over the next few years. Essayons, build strong, this will defend.
Thank you, Command Command Sergeant Major Braud. At this time, Colonel McCulley will honor Command Sergeant Major Russell with the presentation of a special South Atlantic Division plaque. The plaque reads, Command Sergeant Major Rodney C. Russell, Division Command Sergeant Major, South Atlantic Division, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, December 2022 through June 2025. Essions, building strong. Next, the presentation of the Legion of Merit. Please rise for the presentation of the award. Colonel McCulley will now present the Legion of Merit to Command Sergeant Major Russell. The United States of America, to all who shall see these presents, greeting. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress 20 July 1942, has awarded the Legion of Merit to Command Sergeant Major Rodney C. Russell, United States Army Corps of Engineers, South Atlantic Division, for exceptionally meritorious service over a 30-year career, culminating as the Command Sergeant Major for the South Atlantic Division, United States Army Corps of Engineers. He served with distinction at all levels of leadership and left a lasting legacy within each unit he served and the entire non-commissioned officer corps. Command Sergeant Major Russell's distinguished performance of duty, unsurpassed professionalism, and selfless service are in keeping with the finest traditions of the military service and reflect great credit upon him, the United States Army Corps of Engineers, and the United States Army. By order of the Secretary of the Army, this 24th day of June 2025, signed William H. Graham, Jr., Lieutenant General, USA, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Engineer Song and the Army Song. The words are located in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in position until the official party departs and allow Command Sergeant Major Braud's family to precede you.